I always try to do that for those that are curious. Whenever I'm casting like an open cup or any tournament really, and if I'm casting with Yaku or Asher, I try to make sure we cover some Terran for them. Likewise, if I'm ever casting with Chase, I try to cast, or NXZ, I try to cover some Zerg. I try to, you know, I try to play to my co-caster's strengths whenever I can. But here we go, we're diving into our next series, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alcyone, we have our French Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Team Liquid. Oh, sorry, representing from land of Poland, representing Team Liquid, it is MaNa. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the French Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing the Platinum Heroes, it is ShaDoWn. We go. ZVZ always feels like I have more stuff I win compared to TVT and PvP, at least from my viewer perspective. I would say that in mirror matchups, that's applicable to both. TVT is a little bit different because the thing about TVT is that even if you're down in supply, you can still take a better fight just because of positional play. Like I'm specifically referring to like tank setups and tank lines, and being able to like siege instead of your opponents, having the ability to have ravens as well. Like there are ways to have some more counterplay to someone who has more supply than you in TVT. You can make that argument a little bit more in PvP as well. The thing about ZVZ is I would say it's probably the most unforgiving mirror matchup. I think I would say ZVZ is more unforgiving than PvP. They both have different aspects that are brutal. To be fair, like they both have really brutal aspects to them, referring to ZVZ and PvP specifically, when it comes to like catch-up mechanics and stuff like that. But the difference about ZVZ is that it's hard to catch your opponent out of position because of overlords. Because all your units early on are ground based, and because you see all the attack paths, it's really difficult to like get like a really good surround or like a surprising engagement in Roach v Roach or Lingbane versus Lingbane. So yeah, there's a little bit less leeway for that sort of stuff, and it can be more brutal in that sense. I mean, there's a lot more that goes into it, but that's my perspective. And so now we're settling in. We are settling in. It's going to be a Stargate opener out of MaNa across the map. We have yet to really invest here. Getting into our Stalker Sentry, soon to be expansion. Expansion is going to be delayed. Oh, that's a rough delay there. We will eventually take our Nexus. We're getting there as ShaDoWn is forced to invest into additional sentries just so he can spend his money. MaNa instead going for a more aggressive start, going for our initial Oracle. Oracle is moving out. Likewise, we're also going to be taking our expansion at around the same time. It should have been a little bit faster by ShaDoWn, but the last pylon block did disrupt him, and we're going for a safety robo opener. Okay, ShaDoWn playing this a little bit more safe and secure. Likewise, MaNa following up the Stargate with a robo as well. Oracle is moving out. Making way to across the map. The ShaDoWn does spot the Oracle with the pylon. Really interesting pylon location. Oracle dives in. We're in position. We get one probe kill, but only the one. At least MaNa keeps the Oracle alive. We can always dip back in, always get some more damage. But ShaDoWn is keeping up. He's able to keep up. Both players going to be expanding, taking their naturals. MaNa moving out. Bearing in mind that MaNa does have more firepower here with his army, as he did not make as many sentries. As Oracles instead, as the Oracle does try to catch some of these probes, almost. Dragging the army out of position, and MaNa will be shutting down that pylon. At the same time, ShaDoWn going for a very fast third. Oh my god. Heba, is that you? Like, we're barely saturating our natural bases, and ShaDoWn is being so greedy. Doing a great job keeping up with the Oracle. The Oracle did not scout the third base. Bearing in mind as well that MaNa did stay on a lower sentry count, so less hallucinations. Less opportunity to scout. Heavily reliant on that Oracle. Diving into the main. Stalkers are in position. We do warp in. MaNa now going for his Twilight Council. Made safety Immortals. I mean, I say that. These Immortals are actually quite fast for MaNa. Committing quite hard to this. And yeah, okay, never mind. So I say safety Immortals. We're going for a much more aggressive build. We're going for a 2-base all-in. We're busting into Immortal production. And we have Glaive Adepts on the way. Hyper aggression here from MaNa. And ShaDoWn has yet to confirm this. We have been quite greedy, taking the third. Very greedy here from our blue Protoss player. But with our hallucinations, we should be able to scout our opponent, get a read on what's going on. I say that hallucination scout is going to be denied. Ooh. Hallucination does fall. ShaDoWn working on a forge for upgrades. Twilight Council as well. These are all good things, good signs for MaNa. It's not much more resources invested in upgrades and in tech, less so in a standing army. At least we are making Immortals. ShaDoWn is producing them defensively. Has a shield battery, has an overcharge. MaNa getting ready to move out. Gateway Explosion is finishing up. And it's going to be 6 gates in total. Oh, sorry, did I say 6? Yeah. 6, 7, 8. Never mind. So 2 base, 8 gates all in. We're doubling down. As MaNa does move out. ShaDoWn has not been able to scout the movement so far. Seeing out the Observer. Doesn't have the Zelnaga. ShaDoWn will be caught by surprise. He does have more shield batteries on the way. Yeah, the line of cannons as well. Yes, the buy time drag the army over towards the third. Overcharge is popped. And that's they just ignore the army. We're gonna maybe get one Immortal. Oof. Good juggling out of MaNa. Does save them. Cancels the Shade. Doesn't commit. Doesn't commit yet. So far, ShaDoWn is holding on. And we're pulling back to the cannons. Cannons adding a lot of DPS. Likewise, cannons at the natural as well. Let's go. And boys are being pulled. We can afford to lose them. Yeah, probes are going down, but we're getting on top of the Immortals. Good juggling out of MaNa, but we shut down every single Adept. Yeah, 2 Adepts managed to shade back, but the longer this goes on, the better it is for ShaDoWn. Remember, ShaDoWn, he's up a base. He's working on upgrades. Blink +1. ShaDoWn is outscaling MaNa. And it's too late. It's too late at this point. We dive on the arm. We're going for the Prism. Up the Prism. Get zoned away. We can just focus down the Immortals. And we're happy with that. Okay, the Immortals are going down one after the other. Adepts, they shade in. They get shut down by the cannon. And MaNa almost has nothing left. A handful of Adepts. A Prism. And nothing else. Again, we were completely all in. And ShaDoWn, even though he didn't see the army, when he saw that there was no third base, that's when he decided to throw down the cannons. Like, he threw down just a line of sight defense here at his natural and his third when he realized there was no third base. Missed the army, but hey, he was in position nonetheless. To do shade into the main. We're going for economic damage, but again, probe kills is not what we're really looking for. It's a cannon to help support. And in a head-to-head fight, these Adepts, they just can't take it here. They can't take it to these Stalkers. They shade down to the low ground, the Immortals are in position. We force field the Adepts, we lock them down. We're trying to do what we can, but alas, MaNa, he's running out of steam. As he's desperately still warping in the depths. He at least kept the Prism alive. War Prism did survive. Oh, but here comes ShaDoWn. We're moving out with 3 Immortals. How many Stalkers? 19! 19 Stalkers against 11 Adepts. A base trade is the best option. It's like the best chance that MaNa has. It's going to be rotating everything across the map. And there's nothing at home to defend. We could try to recall, but we have to go for it. And we're just too late. ShaDoWn has already started the base trade. And MaNa just begun. We're even recalling back home. We don't even need to. A bit of a Nitrosis pylon, but we keep it alive. Overcharges popped. Cannons go ham. Immortals a recall back home. GG gets called, and ShaDoWn takes game number 1. Almost in complete control of that game. GG. Very impressive. Very impressive stuff here. Again, MaNa is a veteran of the European scene, and ShaDoWn is more of a newcomer. I say more of a newcomer, like he rose up during the COVID era of StarCraft, like 2020 era of StarCraft, which is still more modern, still more new, and yeah, he's able to look good here. I think this is one of the first times ShaDoWn has traveled internationally, especially outside of Europe. So to travel to a place like Dallas like this and going up against MaNa is not easy, but looking strong here in game 1. Does look strong. And now we're diving into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have a veteran of the scene. We have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is MaNa. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the French Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Platinum Heroes. It is ShaDoWn. We go. Both MaNa and ShaDoWn are going to be setting up. Again, MaNa was the aggressor in the last game, going for a 2-base all-in with 8 gateways, Glaive Adepts, Immortal Production. We'll see what MaNa brings out here in game number 2. So we are moving out. Just going for our probe scouts early on, making sure we get eyes on early pylons, on their placement. Not uncommon for Protoss players to hide their second pylon. And MaNa does have his probe out on the map. Scout comes in. MaNa is going to be hiding that second pylon out off to the side. And do we commit, or is this a fake proxy pylon? That is the question. It's looking fake. See, ShaDoWn is looking for that pylon. And it's about to be thrown down elsewhere. And there we go. We have that proxy pylon. Again, it's a fake proxy pylon designed to force an overreaction. And ShaDoWn now realizes that something is wrong. Your pylon is missing. Is there a real proxy? Is there a fake proxy? Does have to piece it together. We can see it's fake. As MaNa's coming in for the scout. ShaDoWn opening up double stalker. Double stalker from both sides. And ShaDoWn is scouting towards the left-hand side, towards the southern half of the map. Unfortunately, this is not where the pylon is, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to piece together what exactly is going on. ShaDoWn doesn't send a second probe out, which is interesting. Usually we would send a second probe to scout the right-hand side. But ShaDoWn is not taking this as seriously. In a sense, he's calling MaNa's bluff. ShaDoWn is checking these more common proxy locations. Probe gets shut down. And our players should be looking to expand. Yeah, that one probe still on the hunt. Expansions are on the way. ShaDoWn moves out. Bold move. To move out with our stalkers. Thankfully, he's not punished at the ramp. Does manage to get past. Adepts are on the way. MaNa could try to pounce on this army. Okay, we'll get some extra hits in. ShaDoWn has to back up. And we're getting to our take-up choice. Going to be a Twilight Council opener out of ShaDoWn going for Blink. MaNa has yet to throw down his own tech. Going for sentries. Additional stalkers have arrived. Because MaNa made sentries, ShaDoWn, he can actually break through this. Ooh, solid force field. Very nice force field trading 1-for-1. Still a better engage from ShaDoWn. Takes down a probe, has control of the low ground. Does shut down the shield, but I mean, that's a kill, not a cancel. Kill the shield battery. Sentry takes a lot of hits. Yeah, we're going to be able to focus on another one of those stalkers. Not a bad trade. ShaDoWn recalling back home. Bleeding out stalkers though. Ooh, only escaping with one. And I believe ShaDoWn did not scout the pylon. Yeah, he barely did miss it. Regardless, he knows that it was a fake proxy. Is settling down. Adept's unable to shade in. And we're just probing. We're saturating our bases. Looking at the unit slots tab, I want to give ShaDoWn a bit of the edge here. He did lose an extra stalker, but he did shut down the sentry, which does have a lot more value. Adept shades in. Oh, gets a probe. Just the one. One probe goes down, nice clean up out of ShaDoWn. Dark Shrine on the way. MaNa. Again, MaNa's been the aggressor this entire series so far. I mean, game 1, he went for an all-in. Here in game 2, DTs, the Invisible Man. It's on the way. Probe is being sent out for the proxy pylon to warp in across the map. And ShaDoWn has avoided sentries, so limited scouting information. It's a bit of a give and take. ShaDoWn doesn't have any sentries, so no scouting, but ShaDoWn does have additional stalkers. And there's no shield battery. It wasn't rebuilt. No shot. No shield battery. MaNa's in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble. We can focus on a stalker. We're down to 3. 3 stalkers left. Warping in one at a time. Yeah, gonna be able to focus on another and another. Looks like we should barely be able to hold on. Yeah, we forced back ShaDoWn, thankfully. Did cost us a couple of workers. Shield battery is done. Whew. Meanwhile, the proxy is being set up for those DTs. And ShaDoWn, once again, is the first to take a third. Once again, ShaDoWn being the more economic player. Behind this, Robo is done. Do we go for it? We do go for the Observer. We have detection. We have detection. It's coming. DT's waddling in. Does waddle in. Stalkers move out. Oh, at the wrong time, but we do spot the DT. Turn back around, and we do catch it. We shut it down. So far, that Dark Shrine opener hasn't done much. Another DT is out, but we don't quite commit yet. We're going to be holding off on that. ShaDoWn is moving out. Looking at the numbers here, ShaDoWn he has over double the stalker count. His goal, deny the third, and I think he can. Is going to be deny the third base. Okay, forces to cancel the shield battery. Dives on the stalkers. Immortal coming out just in time. And without the Immortal, we can force ShaDoWn back. You have to respect it. Back at home, DTs keeping stalkers pinned back. They do keep some of the supply back at home. ShaDoWn backs off. MaNa gets his third. And now we're calming things down. You know, both players on 3 bases. MaNa working towards charge. ShaDoWn will have an upgrade advantage, where ShaDoWn has +1 on the way. Forge still in production for MaNa because of the Dark Shrine. That's where we spent our resources. A nice snipe on the Observer. Now, what I will say, this Dark Shrine has not paid for itself yet, but it can. It still can. Even with detection, even with cannons, we've seen time and time again in the mid-game and the late game that where DTs can still just overwhelm cannons and overwhelm mineral lines and be so annoying to deal with in longer games. So I don't want to write them off yet. We are selling in, taking our force. Once again, ShaDoWn is the first to expand. Has had the slight economic lead throughout this entire game so far. And that is going to be reflected here in the army size. Now, ShaDoWn does have an overwhelming stalker count. He's got 17 stalkers to his name, but his opponent has immortals. Even though MaNa is down in supply, immortals do make up for that. As long as they're able to fight together. They do so much here against stalkers, but that's what the Zealots are for. We can focus them down. One immortal falls. The Archon as well. They're barely out of range of the shield battery. Very nice pickles here from ShaDoWn. Gets an Immortal, gets an Archon, backs up, waits out the overcharge. Does get eyes on the 4th. And will rotate around at the same time. Here comes that DT! Ooh, 6 probe kills. Very nicely done. MaNa does take a worker lead, but the 4th base is cancelled. Oh, that's killed! Oh my god. That's a kill, not a cancel. It's 400 minerals down the drain. Zealots are still up and running. We can still dive in. Remember, overcharge is on cooldown. And the shield battery falls. Oh, we're going to bleed out some Stalkers. Some rough losses here in the retreat for ShaDoWn. Does pull back. Adds a bit of concave. Ooh, punching some of those Zealots. ShaDoWn does back off. Still reinforcing back at home. More DTs on the way. Morphing in Archons. I think I don't think that was quite intentional. Stay Colossus. Let's go. The army does move out. MaNa going for a bit of a backstab, which means he will miss the main army, which means we have that much left to defend. Uh-oh. We do have that much less. Shield battery goes down. The Immortal's looking very exposed. We do catch some Stalkers. Coming in from behind. But who catches who? The Stalkers of MaNa, they get caught out. So many Stalkers go down. And now we can dive on the Immortals. Nice juggling from that Prism. But there's only so much he can do. The Prism goes down. The Immortal as well. We dive on the main army. And MaNa's going to be losing everything here. The Immortals, they go down one after the other. That's all we have left. We have a handful of Zealots, but against Blink Stalkers, they're not going to be enough. Not on their own. They're an amazing supportive units, but there's nothing left to support. The 4th base never got saturated, at least not for MaNa. And ShaDoWn, he's snowballing out of control. GG, well played gets called, and ShaDoWn takes the series 2-0. Taking down MaNa. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Congratulations. Really impressive stuff here out of ShaDoWn. Again, ShaDoWn has been on the rise. I mean, there's been a lot of European Pro Toss players that have been on the rise over the past year of play, over the past couple of years. Players like ShaDoWn, players like Geralt, Cristiano, DNS is another big one that I think of when I think of like European Pro Toss players that are kind of looked over. And yeah, this is a really nice result here, especially considering that, again, someone like ShaDoWn often is able to travel internationally to these big events. So to have gone to DreamHack, to have brought down MaNa in the first round, it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel good. Oh, ShaDoWn does take this series, and you know what that means? That means we're gonna be covering the lower match. Now, what is brutal about this format is that in the open stage, you don't actually earn any money. You don't earn money until you get into some of the later rounds. The open stage, all these players, they all flew to the event themselves, paid for their own flights, they paid for their own accommodations, and with that, we have one of the lower matches here. Solo went down earlier, MaNa just went down. You know what that means? That means up next we have Solar versus MaNa in the best of 3.